How do you even begin the process of choosing yourself when no one has ever chosen you? This is something that I'm working on in my journey right at this very moment, because now that I'm being way more self-aware about my patterns and a lot of things are coming up, ironically during the time of this eclipse season, and then right after the eclipse we are going into Mercury retrograde. And I looked on one of my astrology apps and it says that we are supposed to be evaluating karmic relationships and patterns and breaking soul ties and leaving behind things that no longer serve us. So I'm like, thanks, universe, because now I'm totally self-aware about the cycles that I've been in and how much pain it has actually been causing me for a very long time. A little bit of backstory. I started going online and talking to men when I was 9 years old. I used to go into these Skype chat rooms. I used to be on all sorts of apps lying about my age just to talk to these men. And throughout my whole life, I was labeled as a rebellious teenager, someone who just didn't want to follow the rules, and just someone who was very promiscuous when I was just a kid, you know? And for the longest time, I put that label on myself as well. I couldn't understand what was wrong with me. I didn't know why I constantly craved these, guys' validations. That didn't make sense. I didn't understand why I craved their validation so much. I couldn't understand why I felt like I needed them. Every single time my mom would catch me with one of these men and, I would get my phone taken away, or a CPS case would be opened up and I had to move, me and my siblings, I would always feel like a piece of me was missing. It would feel like my heart was literally breaking and shattering because I didn't have these men to validate me. I didn't have them tell me I was beautiful. I couldn't talk to them. I couldn't share my issues with them and my problems and have them give me a breadcrumb of an answer while also trying to have sex with me. So I heavily relied on it, and I felt like it was my crutch. And well into my adult life, I'm now starting to finally realize why I've been doing these things for so long and why I've been caught up in this cycle for so fucking long. My parents did not choose me. They did not love me in the way that I needed. They weren't there to support me. They weren't there to provide for me emotionally. And I clung on to these men like a lifeline because my parents were just not there. And as kids, we need our parents more than just physically, because I know that some parents like to throw it in their kids' faces that they're putting a roof over their head and they're giving them food to eat, so they should be grateful and they should, thank them for everything that their parents have given them, without realizing that emotional needs are probably one of the most important things. I would say I would put it first, because regardless if a kid didn't have anything, at least that parent is there. At least the parent is showing up and telling their kids that they love them and they support them and they validate them. At least they're encouraging them to want to do better with their life. At least they're fucking there, So I would say the emotional needs are so much more important than the physical ones. Yes, it's important to provide a roof over your head. Yes, it's important to provide for your kids, but it's also important to meet their needs emotionally. It's also important to be there for them and show up for them in the ways that they need, not in the ways that you think that they need. And so I developed an anxious attachment style. And I would start putting on the mask, playing the role of a people pleaser, playing the role of a person who was always there, who always showed up, always choosing other people, always putting other people's needs before mine, because I was taught that in order to be loved, I needed to do something. I needed to prove myself. Love was not something that was unconditional in my family dynamics. It had to be proved. It had to be earned. In order for me to have validation or even get some sort of emotional need met, I had to do something. I had to be someone that I wasn't. I had to be perfect. I couldn't make a mistake. I couldn't mess up, because then that would mean that I'm not worthy. And then my parents would shame me and they would blame me. They would put me down. They would abuse me. And it would just be a repetitive cycle. And even when I did do something good, it still wasn't praised in a way that I wanted it to. It was met with jealousy or comparison. And so I was taught that in order for me to be loved, I need to go above and beyond for other people. I need to put other people before me. I need to make sure that that other person is good before I make sure that I'm good. And so in every single relationship that I've ever had, even when I was little, I mean, I wouldn't technically call it a relationship, but every single person that I've talked to, it was always, what do you need? Who can I be to make sure that you love me in the way that I need? And so the cycle begins. I start attracting emotionally unavailable people who are quite literally unable to meet my needs because they are representing the dynamic between my parents. You guys need to understand that your relationships are not coincidental. They are perfectly aligned to your nervous system, and your nervous system is heavily shaped by your parental influences. So if your parents were anything like mine, they didn't meet your needs, or maybe they were there and they couldn't provide for you or validate you and love you in the way that you needed, or you went through a lot of trauma, abuse and cycles, trials and tribulations, or maybe even you were made to be the adult. You know, you had to show up for your parents in a way that they should have shown up for you. You start to develop that attachment style, and you start attracting people who cannot meet that need. So that wound keeps being opened again, and you start saying to yourself, why is this other person hurting me? Why do I keep constantly attracting these other people? We place the blame on the other person, but we never realize that it's because of our nervous system. It's because of our parents. The people that we choose is a direct correlation to the parents that we have and what needs they didn't meet or fulfill within us as a kid. And so we seek that outside of us. And when you seek that outside of us, you find the very person who can't give it to you. So you're constantly playing the role of the anxious attachment person. You're constantly trying to go above and beyond and do everything that you can for this person, so much so to the point that you're resentful. You are resentful because anything that you do, no matter what you do, this person still cannot show up for you. They still can't be the person that you want them to be. They still cannot love you. They cannot care for you. And that represents your parents, you know? My parents still couldn't love me, still couldn't care for me. They still abandoned me at the end of the day, despite me trying to be perfect, you know? And so the question is, going through this cycle, if you feel anything like me, how do you begin to choose yourself when no one has ever chosen you? This whole entire time, I realized I've been running away from myself. I've literally been dodging myself like a bullet. And even when I'm not romanticizing a relationship in my head, or even when I'm not with another person, I'm craving being with another person. I'm craving the closeness. I want someone to be emotionally available. I want someone to be close to me and tell me that they love me. Even when I don't have that, I'm still subconsciously finding ways to prioritize other things than myself, whether that's a distraction, going on my phone, scrolling all the time, or, putting off my needs, not doing my routines, or just literally not putting myself first. I still do that even when another person isn't in my life. And that's because I was taught that I'm not worthy of love. I'm not even worthy of my own love. And that's why I said in my last video, I don't really have a relationship with myself. I've engulfed myself in so much knowledge and so much wisdom, and yes, I know how to apply it, and it works wonders, of course, but at the end of the day, like deep down, I'm still suffering from these wounds. I'm suffering from this pain that I haven't dealt with because it's fucking traumatizing and it's fucking hurtful. To own up to the fact that all of these relationships that I've attracted in my life is due to the relationship that I didn't have with my parents. And even to this day, I still cry. I'm still broken up over the fact that I don't have my mom and I don't have my dad, and I can't talk to my siblings in the way that I want to. I don't know how to choose myself. And I'm laughing because this video is about how to choose yourself. And I'm coming on here and honestly telling you, I don't know. I can tell you what I plan on doing, and we can go on this journey together, because I plan on, this is like a video diary for both me and you, you know. While I'm documenting this journey, you can also come along with me and you can see all of the things that I'm doing and all the progress that I will be making and you will be making, because I'm tired. I'm so fucking tired of being an anxiously attached person. I'm so fucking tired of putting other people before me. I'm tired of not expressing my boundaries or even having any standards to put up, because I'm afraid that if I do, then the other person is not gonna want me. And I'm fucking tired of wanting someone to want me. I'm fucking tired of putting on a mask and playing a role and trying to be the perfect person for this other person who genuinely does not give a shit, because they're very avoidant. And yes, they've had, you know, trauma in their lives. They have a different dynamic within their parents that have made them that way. But I'm fucking tired of not choosing myself. I'm tired of not putting in the work, because it leads me here. All roads lead back to yourself. So whether or not you want to continue doing what you're doing and continue staying with the person who you know is not fulfilling you, that's up to you. But at the end of the day, that day is going to come where you finally realize, this person will never give me what I need. This person will never make me feel safe. And when you get to that point, you have to realize that only you can pick yourself back up. Only you can decide to choose yourself, and that's what I'm doing. So what I've done so far is I'm going ghost. I am really spending time in solitude, not isolation, solitude. Decentering men from my life. I am going to sit down and write all of the things that I want out of a relationship, whether platonic or romantic. I want to write down the boundaries, and I want to write down some standards. And I've done this before, but I want to plaster it on my fucking wall, and I want to look at it every single day. And if someone doesn't meet those standards that come into my life, then they're fucking gone. I want to be very, very peculiar about who I let in my life and the relationship dynamics I have. And if they're not bringing value to both of us, then it cannot stay there. I'm choosing to put myself on that pedestal and think about what I actually want. I'm going to write all of this down. What do I want in relationships? What would make me feel valued in relationships and loved? And how can I give that to myself first? Because we can't attract people and have them give us what we want if we don't give that to ourselves first. I'm going to start doing the Artist Way book to discover my own creativity, because I feel like a huge reason why I keep trapping myself in this cycle. Sorry about the trash can. Literally, they're taking the trash out right now. But one of the main reasons why I feel like I keep going in this repetitive cycle is because I don't have a hobby. Like, I don't have any like creative outlets yet. And yes, I have my business and I have all these things that I'm doing. Sorry, that's like really bothering me. Like, why did they decide to like take out the loud ass trash like right now? Oh my goodness. I'm so sorry. But I have a business and I have things that I like to do, but I haven't really immersed myself in it, and I haven't been devoted to it because I've been distracted by other things. And honestly, the Doechii, the whole Doechii thing, like, I'm like, oh my gosh, like, girl really made it. Like, she vlogged her whole entire experience, and honestly, that's inspired me because I have similar dreams and similar ambitions of helping the world, inspiring people, awakening the masses, and I just have a vision for my life. As you can see, there's vision boards back there. You can't really see it because it's blurred, but I have a vision. I have goals for my life. I have dreams, and I'll be damned if I live my life without saying I've never did them. So I'm going to be doing the Artist Way. If you guys want to join that with me, comment down below and I'll start making videos on my progress. But one of the requirements is to journal at least 3 streams of consciousness as soon as you wake up, and then take yourself on an artist date every single week. And this is like a solo date, it's an inner child date. And so I really want to commit myself to doing that. I'm going to be fixing up my morning and my night routine, really prioritizing my self-care. I'm going to continue going to the gym, working on my body. So these are all of the things that I'm going to be engulfing myself in, so that I make sure I'm putting myself on top, and I'm not going to let anybody come in the way of me and my inner child and me and myself again. And if you slip up, that's fine. It's part of the journey. Do you guys know how many times I've slipped up and I've made a mistake, or I've went back to the same patterns, and my immediate response is to beat myself up and say, why did you do this? Why did you do this? You're not healed. You're not, you put in all this work for nothing, and just literally berating myself for, again, not being perfect. But you guys, we are human. You're going to make mistakes, and sometimes you're not going to be there for yourself. Sometimes you're going to fall right back into the same patterns with the same ex, or you're still going to attract emotionally unavailable people. But I feel like each time you notice it and you bring yourself back, that grip gets looser and looser, and your relationship with yourself starts getting stronger. So I think it's all really, again, all roads lead back to yourself. So no matter what you do, you'll always still be led back to yourself in some sort of way. And this is what I want you guys to do as well, okay? I want you to journal. I want you to write down your boundaries, your standards, what you want out of relationships. And if you don't know, write down what's currently lacking in your relationships. What don't you like? Like, how are people treating you? And what do you want to be different? And then I want you to think about a morning and a night routine. I want you to also grab the Artist Way book, and I want you to do these morning pages with me. I want you to do the solo dates with me, and I want you to go on this journey with me, because you are not alone, and it's so much better if you have other people doing this with you, okay? This is us reclaiming our power. This is us taking back all of the love that we have given to other people. This is us putting ourselves on the fucking pedestal, because we deserve it. And you want to know what? I'm starting to realize all the people that I've ever been in a relationship with, I've always put on those rose-colored glasses, and I realized that it was my love that made them so special. It was your love that made them so special. It wasn't actually the love that they were giving you, because they were breadcrumbing you, because they will never be able to give you what you need. They just want the benefits of you. They don't really want to meet your needs. They don't really want to be there for you. They just want what you can provide for them, because they know that you're anxiously attached. Even if they don't consciously know it, they subconsciously know that you're anxiously attached, and you will do anything to keep them in your life so they can keep breadcrumbing you, pushing you away, and then pulling you back in, and never meeting you where you're at. So knowing that gives you power. Knowing that allows you to reclaim the essence of you that was lost in the pursuit of them. Ooh! Ooh! That was a bar. You should write that down. But yes, come on this journey with me. We are healing ourselves. We are choosing to put ourselves first in 2025 season. And I want to watch you guys grow, and I want to watch myself grow as we go along this journey, because nothing but good things can come out of this. Once you choose yourself, everything else chooses you.